Is this thing on? Is this thing on? Hello? Hello? Of course it's on. What's up, people? Welcome to race number 10 for Roughneck Racing's James Wagner's Welding Superspeedway series. We're going to be duking it out tonight. 50 laps at Talladega Superspeedway. Little change in the schedule. We were set to go to Echo Park or Atlanta Speedway, but you know, the weather wasn't working out there, so we just picked up the haulers, picked up the cars, and threw them at a different track. Drivers are just finishing up qualifying right meow. But just as I said, we're at Talladega Superspeedway tonight. Beautiful weather, 74 degrees, 45% humidity, clear, 3-mile-an-hour winds for this 2.5 super speedway. I haven't seen that Chris Schuessler guy in a while. Hope he's okay. Miss you, baby. But race number 10, we're heating up. 3 races left to go in this championship battle. And you're going to want to stay locked in, tuned in for all the action on SpeedZoneTV. I'm your host, broadcaster with the most, Robert Warren's up in the booth. Going to be giving you all that color commentary. But right meow, we're going to go ahead and start to take a look at that grid as these guys are getting all locked in. So, rolling off here, we got Shane Wheeldon in the P1 spot with Jettner on the outside, Wagner in 3, Sharn in 4, Smith in 5th, Barnes in 6th, Lashbrook in 7th, Keltner in 8th, Richardson in 9th, Miller, the mailman, in 10th, Phipps in 11th, and Percerelli in 12th, Don Francesco in 13th, and Ryan in 14th, Straminsky in 15th, and Sigelkow in 16th. First in that beautiful belt there in the 17th spot, 19th, the Copper Torn, Ramsey in 20th, Grace in 21st, and BB 22nd. And if it flips over here, we have Hunter in 23rd, but I'm just not seeing him scroll in right now. Got a few chuckles there as we're rolling through. We don't always see those pictures rolled by, but sure enough, you know, when you're watching the SpeedZoneTV broadcast here, anything can pop up on your screen. But when you're not professional like I am, then you know, you get the giggles. Next week for race 11, we're going to be the next gen at Talladega again. So different car combo. This is the Gen 6 car, and then you know, we're going to be finishing off the season February 9th in the Xfinity at Daytona. So, you know, really tight points battle here with all these drivers and the mix of newcomers coming in. Looking at our points now, let's take a little sneak peek at what we going on after 9 races. We got the 4 machine of Smith in first spot with 243, 1 win on the season. Barnes in the 3 machine, 223, 20 points back. Doing great so far. And Gary the Mailman Miller, Mr. Consistency, just pulling off consistent finishes, running 3rd. Richardson in 4th in the 2 machine. Sprinkle, I didn't see him in the field tonight. He's in 5th. Manning in the 78 in 6th spot. Copperthorne in 7th. Dylan Grace in 8th. Hurst 9th. Highland also not in the field tonight in 10th. So these are going to be the drivers that you're going to want to watch out for as the night progresses. And, you know, these guys, this car right here, and these guys are going to be managing fuel, managing tires. They're going to be slicing up for pit strategy here. Rumor is in the tech shed that these big machines only have 23 laps of fuel. So if we go green or not, what's going to happen for fuel strategy, who's going to short pit, all that things to come here for race number 10 at the Wagner's Welding Superspeedway series. Wonder what these guys are thinking. I really don't know. I wouldn't know what to think in one of these cars right now. Super speedway racing, not my thing. You know, some say I'm a better pusher. Wait, no, I'm not a good pusher. I'm a better get pusher. So definitely a better lead car, but getting ready to go green here. As that 5 machine's going to control the start. With Gentner on the outside. Green is out. Nice and steady start. These fields are stacked up there. That's a 2 machine of Richardson dipping down below the yellow line as they stack up. Keltner bumping in that 88 on Barnes as Gentner on the outside and is the lead car in that outside lane. Three wide further back. Little touch on Don Francesco from the yellow car. I believe that's Sigel Cow. Racing down into turn 3, 2 by 2 as far as, well, not that far as you can see. About the 5th row back. They're 3 wide there. Little early to be going 3 wide in my opinion, but you know, what do I know? I'm just a guy up in a booth. Driver's doing a great job so far. Gentner drops down to the bottom side, leaving Barnes the high lane with Keltner in behind him, and Marlboro Mailman Miller in that 15 machine. Very consistent in the Super Speedway series. We'll be doing our best to bounce back and forth to the chat. So if you do want to check in on your driver, just throw it in the chat. We'll be looking back and forth through there. Barnes getting the run on the outside with Keltner getting the push on. Drivers were talking in the drivers meeting saying the outside line can be the dominant force if you get the right cars stacking up. Wagner drifting up high there, pushing Barnes up high. That's going to shuffle that outside line a little bit. Smith on the bumper, Wagner in that 4 machine as they're coming down the backstretch. Wagner making the charge to the front with the help of points leader Andrew Smith. 3 wide further back in about the 10th spot. Taking laps down, lap number 4 on the way. But look at this, 2 rows, 3 by 3. Getting sweaty in around the 14th, 15th spot. Smith able to push Wagner to the lead. Now he's got Gentner and Welding in behind. Welding had a great race last week. Really got a lot of camera time and showed kind of his craft at Super Speedway racing. So that was great to see. Or wide further back. I hope they settle down. The sun might be impacting these guys' abilities to see, as you can see the glare off the paint of these cars. Uh-oh. Trouble in Trouble Town. Let's see if we can go ahead and grab a SpeedZoneTV instant replay. It looks like we got a large chunk of the field as they're falling off the pace. Pull that one up here. Gonna back it up a little bit more and try to dissect what happened. We've got Hunter, Ryan. It's actually up front. Seeing who's getting jostled around. That lead pack of cars there, you can see getting turned. That's Barnes. And might have been trouble from that 69 machine of Lashbrook. We're going to back that up one more time and see where the contact fell. And nope. Watch closely here. Cameras on the 69 machine. Barnes and Hyde. 24 of Don Francesco goes 3 wide. Barnes may have not known he was 3 wide and does come down. So tough break for those drivers, but tough break for Barnes, who is running quite well in the point standings. So, ouch. Looks like he's able to drive away. I'm not sure who else got caught up into that, but that's going to be our first caution of the night. Drivers are probably going to elect to come in, top up fuel if track position isn't too important for them. Drivers coming down pit lane meow. You're excited just like I am. Find the pit lane camera here. Watch the race off pit lane. Looks like everyone's just topping up for fuel. Couple drivers electing to stay out. We'll get those stats to you shortly. Current leader is a 12 machine of Dylan Grace. 3 lead changes so far. And this is the breakdown here, looking at the the top 10 drivers as they sit. It's showing no fuel for the top, squint your eye, top 5 drivers didn't come in. So Grace, Manning, Hunter, BB, Sigelkow, and then after that, Wagoner, Smith, Gentner, Wheeldon, and Richardson. Fuel only. I would agree with a fuel only strategy right here. You're not really losing a lot of track positions when only 5 cars elect to stay out. So it's going to be interesting. One more lap to go. We're going to give a shout out to our good friend James Wagner, our series sponsor for Roughneck, making it possible for everyone to view the broadcast at home. A little love for them. We're going to roll a clip. We'll BRB.
Roughneck Racing would like to thank our sponsor, Wagoner Welding. Wagoner Welding is a family-owned and operated business located in North Wilkesboro, North Carolina. They specialize in custom-built truck beds and framework of all types. You can reach them at 336-670-3427 or visit the shop located at 446 DeHart Church Road. Roughneck Racing would like to thank our sponsor, Wagoner Welding. Wagoner Welding is a family-owned and operated business located in North Wilkesboro, North Carolina. They specialize in custom-built truck beds and framework of all types. You can reach them at 336-670-3427 or visit the shop located at 446 DeHart Church Road. Roughneck.
And we're back. One thing to note about these Gen 6 cars is they're kind of like tanks. They can take a lot of damage, get beat up. But one thing these drivers have in their back pocket is a fast repair. So everyone's got 2 sets of tires and 1 fast repair as it's shown on their schedule for the Super Speedway series. and it gives a little bit of grace. Also, the Truck Series offers that as well, allowing drivers that get stuck in a mishap, somebody else's carnage, nowhere to go. It allows them to just stay in the fight a little bit longer. You just never know what could happen. Pace car getting ready to duck in here. We see that repairs made. Not very many cars had to pull in for repairs. Like Sharon Don Francesco had repairs, but Barnes, I don't know if he had to use his fast repair. He was limping away. We're getting ready to go green here, so back to action. We'll watch the 12 machine of Grace fire off here. Great start as he pulls Manning with Hunter and BB in behind. BB chops down quick to the bottom side, leaves Manning out to dry. That's going to tank that outside car unless he gets some help. Looks like the 22 machine of Sigelcow jumps to the high side to join him. Wagner looking to start that second groove and is going to pull Manning up. That's Smith and Richardson with Weldon in behind now. So that's going to be one heck of a fast second groove as we are on lap number 10. Ooh, they're getting bobbly wobbly. Going to be interesting to see how some of these cars that were involved in that caution, how they're able to get back up through the field. Our new leader, Big Doug. Doogie Howser himself getting all the steam. Oh, Smith, big push. Drops to the bottom side. Wagner doesn't want to leave the high side. That's a 12 of Grayson behind him with BB in behind. Manning pushing on the bumper of BB. These cars can take a beating, but one thing they have to manage is temperature. Great job by the 30 machine, controlling both lines. Grace jumps up to the high side. Smith on the bumper of Wagner now with Weldon. Woo, little checkup. Getting all squirrely. These boys save it up. Good job by the drivers there as you saw them just dance around in that tri-oval. Oh no. If we can get on it fast enough, it's hard to tell. Let's see what's going on here. Back it up. Thing we'll have to tweak with here is where that replay camera starts. Well, already up, getting turned around is Sigelcow. Can't find his name. Back that up one more time while we do a horrible job of trying to find where the incident was. And it is right here, actually. Oops. Double oops. Speed it up 1 second. Gonna get through here. You're gonna see that Sigelcow gets a run down the front stretch. And there's a checkup. That's where we saw the tri-oval bobble. You see Single Cow try to shove to the bottom here. And unfortunately, that's a no room issue. Single Cow shoving harder, collects Hunter there, gets Straminsky. And coming up on, I believe that's Barnes? Was that Barnes? Ashbrook makes it through. I think that was Hurst going around, but the 6 machine of Gentner showing some damage. Drivers are probably going to come down the pit again. Go ahead and take a look at who's going to be coming in here. Led 5 laps so far. Basically, got out from that caution, got tossed around a little bit, shuffled back, but survived the carnage. Did a good job of making his presence known that he's got a machine up in the fight tonight. Race off pit lane. '78 machine of Manning not electing to pit. Caution number 2 tonight. Drivers fighting it out. Strategy kind of like thrown out the window a little bit as we go through these pit cycles. But more importantly, let's talk about Wednesday night. The Roughneck Racing's Wagner's Welding Truck Series gonna be duking it out for 80 laps at Michigan. We got one heck of a battle cooking up there for a championship as well. So you're going to want to tune in Wednesday night, 7:25 p.m. EST for some more action. But then again, just to remind you, you're not going to want to miss race number 11 because we'll be back here next Monday, same time. Lights are off on the pace car. We're going to go green next time by. Maybe we can roll through some of these cars quickly, see who's got some new paints. Not looking too new from the 78 or 16. Wagoner, we've seen, I believe, that paint before. Smith, very similar. The SWA Sabres. White Lightning, Jake Perselia. We haven't seen him in a bit. Ben Ryan up in the mix. Vesseltronics. Straminsky in the 34. Not looking too shabby. Copperthorne in the 98. Full trickle paint for that 24 machine of Don Francesco. Richardson sporting his number 2 machine. Geltner in the 88. be a little bit different. We've seen that 12, the dashing 12 machine last season's champion many times. Phipps and his good old Phipps woodworking. Solid white paint. Sickle Cow in the 22 machine. Venom Racing. Mailman Marlboro Miller. Good job there. New paint-ish for the 3 machine of Barnes. Hunter in a flashy green paint. That might hurt your eyes if you stare at it too long. Hurst, he's pretty decorated all the time, but I think we're going green. We're going to stop playing around. We'll go back up front here. Pace car ducking in. EB got a little rolling on the high side there as they're waiting for this green to come out. Not sure what's going on further back. Phipps up high into the 3rd groove. Manning gets a great start. Sometimes that big of a start isn't a good thing because it creates such a vacuum that drivers are able to slingshot right by you. Take a look on board with the 30 machine. James Wagoner, currently 4th, has led 5 laps so far. He's ran up front most of the night. Big run. Gets to the high side. Smooth execution there. It's going to be another lap led for that 30 machine. Got the 48 in behind him with the 34 and 88. You see when they go up to that 3rd line, they're trying to break the draft from the inside line, stop the side draft. Nearing halfway, we got a 3rd groove forming. Looks like it's Smith and Richardson. Priscilla jumping up to the high side. There's no room. They're 4 wide going into turn 1. I hope everybody's paid their bills because a little rub on the wall there. It looked like Richardson got a little tap. And we got Barnes spinning around below the yellow line. He's going to keep it rolling. I don't think he has anything to worry about as long as he keeps it moving here. Go back up to the front. On board again with that 30 machine. Big push from the 78 of Manning with BB in behind. Single file for about 8 cars as they come down the backstretch to complete lap 19. Don't normally see this from the 30 machine. He normally starts at the back. Tonight he's qualified 3rd, stayed up front all night. Not really sure what that crew chief has done to that car, but it is dialed in. Taking a look at our points leader. He's currently 7th on the bumper of Straminsky in that 34. Straminsky looks like he's holding on to that wheel with his life as Smith is trying to propel him to the front. Not for the weak-wristed, that's for sure. Gotta have those strong wristies. See that they're gaining momentum on the outside line. Smith doing the best he can to stay on the bumper of Straminsky. Opens up a little bit of air in the corners, cools that car off. See, Wagoner drifts up. Got a car length off the bottom. Kind of steals the air of that outside groove. I think the Mailman Miller is going to have to tighten it up if we're going to see a run from that second groove. Smith jumping to the high side, leaving the 34 alone. So the action is. Miller touching the wall. Second groove of having trouble forming. Single cow up there now. On the outside of the 24 of Don Francesco, and now on the door of the 67 of Ryan. Got the 48 of Priscilla. That 4 machine is just looking for the right dance partner. Teammate Richardson on the bumper of Mailman Miller. Uh-oh. That's gonna hurt. These cars are spinning down to the bottom. Tough contact there. That happened live on SpeedZoneTV. Unfortunately, we're gonna have to back this replay up a little bit here. Not really sure what happened as we're coming out of the corner. Got Manning jumping to the high side. The 48 machine pushing Single Cow in that 22. Wagner coming up a bit. Everyone, you just be mindful of where those white lines are. 22 machine coming down onto the 78, into the 30 of Wagner. Wagner able to get away with minimal damage. See him save it there. Great job. He does have a little bit of damage. Single Cow hard into the wall. That's a tough break for the field here. Having a great run, but not what we wanted to see. We're going to go back to live action. Manning just... He was the meat patty in the sandwich or in the burger bun, and it was just a tight burger. Not everyone wants to be the meat all the time, but that was kind of how it dealt out. Drivers are likely going to be coming in and out of the pits here. I'm probably going to see some tires getting bolted on. I'm not sure what we're going to see, but that 48 machine of Jake Percelia is going to be our leader, Meow. Started 12 up to first. Looks like we've got a mix of strategies here. Copperthorn doesn't pit. First splash and go. So our new leader, the 98 of Eric Copperthorne, started 19th, up in first. Think it's going to be his first lap led. He's going down to the bottom. A couple cars in the pits here. We got the 78 of Manning, 69 of Lashbrook, and the 30 of Wagner. It's likely that they're not electing to use their fast repair and to get as much damage fixed. These caution laps take about 2 minutes per lap, so a driver can get a lot of damage fixed in a short amount of time. Johnny Hurst, currently first. No laps led until he crosses the line. Heard he's wearing special red color clothing tonight. Started 17th, so last week we saw the teammates work together. We saw Hurst, Richardson, and Smith. 1, 2, 3. They haven't been able to get partnered up here tonight. You can see the Horseman paint scheme as that 58 rolls by. Got some fingies on the car. The cameraman can't zoom in any further. So these guys have been struggling to get together tonight. And once they do, they're going to be a force to be reckoned with. But rumor has it, these drivers at Roughneck Racing have had enough of this teamwork by these 4 horsemen and are doing everything to keep them apart. 58 electing to take the outside on the restart, allowing the 12 of Grace to be at the bottom. We still got drivers in the pits. Like we got $69 of Lashbrook in the pits. And then the 22 of Sigelcow. We're rolling now. Let's see where the pace car is. You guys better put on the jammers and get her done. It'd be hard to catch the pace car from that far back. Pace car entering turn 3. Just over halfway, pace car ducking in. 58's going to be your control car. Green out once again. Mailman Miller in behind the 58 of Hurst with White Lightning and Grace on the bottom side. Rest of the field, it's a little spread out, so it's going to be a drag race for these two. BB and Keltner join the bottom side of the 12 and the 48, where Smith, Gentner, Don Francesco, and Hunter are 6 deep on the outside lane. You can see Richardson tucked in behind the 88 of Keltner. With this outside lane stacked up the way they are, they're gonna make all the speed. Who's gonna drop first from this second lane? Who they've all cleared. 4 cars have cleared. Richardson gets close. Gets up to that high side. Hunter drops down to the bottom. 4 cars on the outside groove just pulling away. The bottom line has no speed when these guys know how to stick nose to tail. Don Francesco shuts the door to Richardson trying to get on the bumper. Uh-oh. Somebody called a tic-tac-toe. We now got the 3 of the 4 horsemen running nose to tail on that second groove with Miller, Don Francesco, and Gentner on the bottom. 22 laps to go. Current leader Hurst. 6 lead changes so far. That second groove, all the speed. Wagoner trying to get back up front. He's trying to look 3 wide. Not enough dance partners for him to gain momentum. Barnes back up in the mix. Drivers electing to run the middle of the track. Marlboro man Miller looking on the outside. Let's take a look at his in-car. I'm not sure who he has behind him. But he might need a little bit of help. He's got 4 cars now. If they can tighten up, that third groove might be the fastest groove on the track. Big bump from Grace on the 30 machine of Wagoner. 3 wide. One heck of a show for race number 10 in the Wagoner's Welding Superspeedway Series. Mailman Miller getting the juice from Barnes and Hunter, and the 69 of Lashbrook in the outside. If they're able to tighten up, we've seen this second groove be dominant. Ooh, tough block there as Smith moves up the track. Hirsch drops down. They've split up the partnership of the horsemen. That's going to stifle the momentum of both lanes. First, still the leader. Drops to the bottom to partner up with Richardson. Ooh, little bumpsy. They get squared away. Miller's going to lead his first lap here tonight. Let's go ahead and take a look at Mailman. Gotta remember, he's not doing too bad in the points. A finish like this could definitely bolster him up. Guys are getting really racy in behind him with 17 laps to go. Uh-oh. Just as you look away. 69 of Lashbrook's involved. 27 of Hunter. Gonna try to figure out what happened here. On board the 27 of Hunter. Probably see some bumping at some point. Like Hunter gets in the bumper of Barnes, checks up. BB tags him. Shoots Hunter up the track. Nowhere to go. Back that up one more time. I thought there might have been a second contact from the 16 machine. But also, you know, the 16 is getting bumped from the 12 of Grace. So these guys aren't able to see everything. But it looks like Hunter actually just kind of slides up the track. And they're just hard racing. Might be a little bit of craziness going on. And unfortunately, the 4 machine gets bottled up in it, but is able to get away. It looks like the 69 of Lashbrook and the 27 of Hunter are the only 2 cars involved. So just one more time, we're going to bring this back and do what we do best at Speed Zone. To give you an interesting perspective on board the 4 machine, but we're going to roll at full speed here. I mean, excellent wreck avoidance by that 4 machine. It's going to be a tough break for the other drivers, 69 and 27 involved. But honestly, the quick on the brakes, did make a lot of hard contact, but definitely got it done. Hats off to our current points leader, Andrew Smith. Back to live action here. These guys are all going to be coming down pit lane. Oh, maybe not. Maybe I missed it. Yeah, I definitely did. We were watching the replay too long. Manning stealing the thunder. Gonna let our stats update and give you some info in a second. We're gonna roll a quick commercial and we'll be back.
Roughneck Racing would like to thank our sponsor, Wagoner Welding. Wagoner Welding is a family-owned and operated business located in North Wilkesboro, North Carolina. They specialize in custom-built truck beds and framework of all types. You can reach them at 336-670-3427 or visit the shop located at 446 DeHart Church Road. Roughneck Racing would like to thank our sponsor, Wagoner Welding. Wagoner Welding is a family-owned and operated business located in North Wilkesboro, North Carolina. They specialize in custom-built truck beds and framework of all types. You can reach them at 336-670-3427 or visit the shop located at 446 DeHart Church Road. Roughneck Racing would like to
Winding down, 15 laps to go, 14 when we cross the line. Gonna be one heck of an interesting finish. We've had 4 cautions tonight. I wouldn't characterize any of the cautions as the big one. So we still got plenty of time for that. Let's go ahead and take a look at some pit stop stats for our top 10 here. Showing 11 laps ago, Manning took 2 tires and fuel. He's going to be on the bubble for needing fuel for sure, but only 1 lap ago, fuel only for a good chunk of cars there. 2 tires for Miller, so he did lose some track position. See if we have repair stats here. Overall on the night, 2 minutes and 30 seconds for that 69 of Lashbrook. 2 minutes 20 seconds for Ron in the 21. We haven't seen too much of him. 128 for Wagoner in the 30. He's currently in the 5th spot. Single Cow getting himself involved a few times in some carnage. And then Manning, currently our leader, 46 seconds of damage. So a lot of cars getting torn up here at Talladega Superspeedway. Time to go green again. Manning, by the math, Manning should have enough fuel to go the whole way. Not really thinking tires are going to be a factor. Pace car ducking off one more time. Not showing any drivers out of the race. Except for the 13 of Ramsey. I don't even know how he got caught up. Brains out. Manning gets a good start over the 58 of Hurst. Down into turn 1. Wagoner alone looking to start a 3rd lane, but no takers. Second groove is clear on the high side. That's Hurst, Barnes, and Smith in the first 3 with the 69 of Lashbrook, the 12 of Grace, and the 24 of Don Francesco. Coming out of turn 2 down the backstretch. Waiting for them to appear in the dog leg. See the starter up in the sand as they drag race down into turn 1. Hurst still showing as our leader. "11 laps led tonight." Great job, great showing. Last week when we were talking to him, our last week's winner, he was like, "I feel like I had the monkey pulled off my back." Little bump from the 69 of Lashbrook getting the 3 machine squirrely. Barnes trying to make the 3rd groove viable. Looks like they said goodbye to Hurst. He's going to get sucked back up into the vacuum there. Tough break for him. Uh-oh. Wagoner in trouble. Oh, that hurt. We heard a motor pop. That's going to be our 5th caution of the night. Not sure what happened. Go ahead and back that up some more. On board the 30 machine. We're 3 wide there with looks to be the 48, the 27, and the 2. So just looking at bumps that are going. First gets kind of sucked up. Hunter hits him a little hard, squirrels into the 15 and Miller. Hunter goes up and kind of, I don't know, did the 48 tag Hunter there? I don't think so. Did BB tag him? 16? Oh, it's just Hunter going up the track slightly and forcing Mailman Miller into the 30 machine. 30 machine into Hunter. Miller and BB get together. Hunter gets hooked into the wall hard with Wagoner. You can see some helicopters. That's cool. I don't think you're supposed to show the bottom side of your car. They're still spinning here. Big carnage for Ryan Hunter in that 27 machine. We hear his motor pop. Go ahead and roll her back. Roll town here. And we're going to just press play from that perspective of where the vacuum starts. So you can see that Hunter is coming up on the 58 of Hearst really fast here. Bump. And I mean, this is the simulator, and I don't think that'd be fun in real life. And you can hear the motor pop. You can see the gauge is all dead. A little bit of frustration for Hunter. He didn't really have much of a shot there to get it done. Coming that fast up on the 58 of Hearst. Tough break for him. Back to live action here. Wagoner able to get away. Barnes is going to be our new leader here. She's a cooker here. She's winding down. 7-8 laps to go. Man, oh man, we've seen some torn race cars tonight. We know Wagner's Welding's got a jig plate. That's how they sponsor the series. It's all the driving we see here. 5 cautions and a bunch of busted up race cars. But that 3 machine here, Barnes, take a look at how he's done tonight. Three laps led. Not too many. Started back in 6th spot. Take a look at some of our biggest gainers. Up 11 spots is the 12 machine of Dylan Grace. He's currently in 10th, but Don Francesco up 10 spots in 3rd. Ben Ryan 10 spots in 4th. Going to be interesting to see if BB can get up further. He's currently 14th, up 8 spots. And oh man, we're running out of time here. Overall lap leaders for tonight. That 30 machine of Wagoner, 12 laps. Hearst, in that 58 machine, 11 laps. 78 car of Manning, 6 laps. Grace, 5 laps. Our current leader, Barnes, he'll tick off 4 laps here. Gentner, haven't seen him back up front. Got one eye. Where is he in the field? Currently at about 6. Lights are off on the pace car. We're getting ready to go again. Long way around. A lot of time for these guys to get on the radio, get talking to the other crew chiefs, the other teams, and say, hey, how about we link up for a strategy here? Let's make a push. Let's lock in nose to tail. Teamwork has kind of been the story of the last kind of few races where the dancing partner, who's your teammate, doesn't leave you. And then you have a stellar finish. So, you know, we look at last week, we had the top 3 all teammates. I believe the week before we had another teammate debacle where really it just made all the racing right at the end. And Smith finished up there, Hurst in 4th, but Ben Ryan stole that show. The week before that, race number 7, we had Smith get up front there with the help of Richardson and Barnes. So we've seen a lot of consistent finishings up front with the guys who have done well in points. These are probably the guys that are in the wind tunnel. They're wrenching on their cars. They're out at practice. And it's going to make all the difference as you're going through different car and track combos. You know, how do you manage temps? When are you supposed to let that car cool off so you can make that optimal run to the end? Lashbrook on the bottom side of Barnes. Barnes gets a good start. Ryan in behind. See if Barnes drops to the bottom. Big run from the 69 machine. Little side draft from the 67. Francesco up on the bumper, gives the 69 a little push. Typically we see the higher side favor the speed. Ryan stops Gentner from making a 3rd groove. Smith on the bumper of the 24. Six laps to go, 5 at the line. Uh-oh. Lashbrook put 3 wide, looking for somewhere to go. BB gives him a little shove. Wheeldon tucks in behind. Heads up driving there. Driver's actually elected to lift the gas. Woo, they're trying to jockey around for position. Once again, we're seeing use of that 2nd groove. Really it's gonna be really who the difference is of who the lead car is and who's pushing. There is a specific technique that these drivers need to employ to make it possible to get up front or stay up front. Richardson is locked in on the bumper of Smith. And the bottom side has come alive. That 4 stack of cars getting it done. You haven't really seen that much power, but you got certain cars working together. It is no joke the amount of speed that they can produce. If we see the white flag, the race goes official. 3 markers to go. Splitting the defense. Barnes gets shuffled around. Hurst high. They're 3 wide coming to turn 4. Race on the high side in behind Hurst. That wasn't what I was expecting there, but it surely did happen. Tight. Keltner and Barnes. 2 laps to go. The race is hardly over yet. Uh-oh. Not sure where the trouble is. Ooh, we got the 69 of Lashbrook limping around. See if back that up a little. Tough break for the 69 machine. He's been having a great run. 4 wide here. We got Hurst, Manning, Wagner. 12 machine of Grace in front. That's BB in the 16. Looks like 16 and 58 hooked together. And then Hurst up to the wall. Lashbrook unfortunately gets collected likely after BB comes up the track here. Apparently the 69 did not have turbo boosters in the car. Tough damage there for the 16. And tougher damage for Grace and Hurst, both having a great run. That was a tough one to kind of dissect and call. We're going to back it up one more time because, well, it's a super speedway. We got time. Try to understand what happened here. It looks like just the same kind of thing we saw before. Hurst falls victim to the vacuum of not having enough cars push him. And they're all feathering. A lot of room there for that 16 machine, but apparently not enough to make it work. It'll be our SpeedZoneTV instant replay. Tough break for Grace. Bunch of victims there. Back to live action. '69 car not tracking correctly. Looks like the rear end is yawed out. See if we got a better view. You can see as that car comes around the corner, looks like the rear end is steering itself. Give you another perspective of it here. That's going to be a tough break for Lashbrook here. I don't know if he's going to be able to get that repaired in time. Likely be looking for just a strong finish. Lights still on the pace car. That's our 6th caution of the night. So far tonight, we've had 10 lean changes, 6 cautions for 17 laps, and our current points leader, Andrew Smith, has got the lead. Go ahead and take a look at these points really quickly. So, Smith, 20-point lead over the field, over Barnes. Barnes currently got in trouble a few times. He's currently 6th. Mailman Miller currently sitting in 21st, showing that he's in the pit. That Marlboro machine had some speed. Richardson in 2nd spot, so we'll see if those guys are able to work it out well. Sprinkle not in the field tonight. Manning currently in some spot that I can't see. Oh, 8th. Ha 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 ha. So kind of where he wants to be. A little bit better of a finish will definitely help him. Copperthorne is currently in 12th. Race, we saw him just get caught up. He's currently in 16th. Hurst, saw him just get caught up. He's in 18th spot. And Pylan not in the field tonight alongside with the the fifth place car in points is sprinkled. So we're going to see some big shuffling depending on how this finish goes. So we have 3 green, white checkered attempts. And what that means is this will be the first one. If we take the white flag, the race becomes official. And once it's official, anything goes to the line. It's a pants-off, dance-off, essentially. So you're going to want to be aware of what's going on. Lights are off on the pace vehicle. These guys are going to be anxious to get going. No friends, no foes, just throttle, just super speedway racing here. Gen 6 car at Talladega Super Speedway. 6 cautions on the night. Race number 10. Points are on the line. Championships on the line. Some guys are running for a win. Other guys are running for a championship. Really going to set the field out. Eerily quiet. The belts are tight. That 4 Machine Smith is the control car. We saw a little blink there from the 88. Green is out. Oh, he falls back at the wrong time. That's going to stack up Barnes. Don Francesco says, we got to go. And bolsters the 2 Machine of Richardson out to the front. But now this is where the magic starts to happen. Do we see the second groove come to life? The drag race down the back stretch. Barnes on the high side. Uh-oh. Looks like Keltner got hooked to the grass. I can't get a camera on that. Yeah, he's back on the track, but we got to go back up to the front. That's Manning and Barnes on the high side, the 3 and the 78. They need more help in the center. Coming to the white flag. Race is official. Uh-oh, not anymore. That's the 2 Machine down into the grass. Well, inside the inside wall. These guys are bumping and bagging even further back. Barnes, Straminsky, Manning, Grace. You've seen Barnes squeak out a win before. He's been in trouble a few times, wrecking in behind. And it's looking like the 3 Machine is going to grab the dub here. Straminsky second, and Manning grabs the 3rd spot. Crazy carnage there at the end. No friends on the last lap, that's for sure. Hats off to that 3 Machine of Barnes getting up front. You saw him get involved in some carnage. It finishes 6th. We'll take a look at our standings shortly. Take a quick break here while drivers are going to roll up to the podium, and then we'll look at having some SpeedZoneTV instant replays. See the carnage there where Grace, back that up one more time here. Indeed. Not sure what happened. See on the high side, Draminsky and Grace, you try to pull down, but it looks like Grace might have misjudged where the 2 of Richardson was. And it's a battle. Here, let's watch a little bit more of that. On board the 5 machine. Priscilla bumps Don Francesco. BB on the high side. Mailman Miller up there as well. Little door for Wagner. And we're going to see some more carnage here in a second. Not sure where the carnage is, but I know it's there somewhere. Like the 4 machine gets a little tight to the 30. They hook, but the 48 gets back into the 30. Alexa 24. We're not done. That's the 98 of Copperthorne. Mailman Miller on the high side, the Marlboro machine gets smucked up into the wall. Fighting down to get to the bottom. I don't know if he lost steering. But he's shot down in the infield. Hard contact with the wall there. That's Copperthorne in the 98, the blue machine. But the drag race to the finish is the 3 of Tyler Barnes. Interesting last lap battle here. Definitely a lot of wrecked race cars. We're going to take a quick break, and then when we come back, we're going to go over for some driver interviews and see what these guys have to say about their race and what occurred.
Roughneck Racing would like to thank our sponsor, Wagoner Welding. Wagoner Welding is a family-owned and operated business located in North Wilkesboro, North Carolina. They specialize in custom-built truck beds and framework of all types. You can reach them at 336-670-3427 or visit the shop located at 446 DeHart Church Road. Roughneck Racing would like to thank our sponsor, Wagoner Welding. Wagoner Welding is a family-owned and operated business located in North Wilkesboro, North Carolina. They specialize in custom-built truck beds and framework of all types. You can reach them at 336-670-3427 or visit the shop located at 446 DeHart Church Road. Roughneck Racing would like to thank our sponsor, Wagoner Welding. Wagoner Welding is a family-owned and operated business located in North Wilkesboro, North Carolina. They specialize in custom-built truck beds and framework of all types. You can reach them at 336-670-3427 or visit the shop located at 446 DeHart Church Road.
All right, time to bring in our first driver, the 78 machine of Tyler Manning. Robert up. Hey, what's up, buddy? Congrats on your P3 tonight. Started 18th, got up front. What was going on the track tonight?
Oh man, these cars, dude, they just make such big runs, and people kind of just went crazy there right at the end. But yeah, I kind of used strategy to jump in front of everybody on a lot of the pit stops. I actually did tonight's race on 1 stop, so my clutch pedal was working very hard tonight, saving me gas. But yeah, just using that to jump people the best I can, and then once that last restart, just was behind Tyler Barnes and knew that like he's going to go to the top. If I can stay with him, we'll be good. Just kept pushing him until, the runs kind of broke us up. And then it was just a little bit of defense on watching the mirror for the runs coming behind you to get the run there. And then I think me and Dylan were drag racing to the line. So I haven't seen how close that was. But I was watching relative, and I'm like, it said 0 through the entire tri-oval. And I'm like, oh, it's going to be close. So I hope it's a good picture. But
Yeah,
yeah, it was fun.
you guys definitely kept it clean. I'm showing that you're pretty much even, so I need the third decimal place there to see what it looks like. But overall P3 finish tonight, and I saw you do the off pit strategy, got you up front, but it looked like the entire field was just being so aggressive, as you said, and people were just getting those big runs and charging. One of the questions I always like to ask is what would you have done differently to get you a little bit further up? Because you're 3 or 4 car lengths back from the 34 in Barnes. Did the air get sucked away from you that last lap?
Yeah, once Dylan got to my outside, it was just kind of side draft city there. I tried jumping down in front of, I think it was Eric. He came with a big run and hoping that, I know he doesn't want to crash me, but I was kind of hoping he would just drive through me and hopefully launch me forward. But he woed up, which I thank him for that, not just dumping me, of course. But just hoping that somebody would come and just give that boost forward. Might have been able to. I tried to stay in the tire tracks of the first 2 up front, but like I said, once you were side by side, you're just kind of trying to break away. So then once I saw me and Dylan were stuck beside each other, I was like, all right, I'm gonna give a little bit of this back, and then turn down at the start finish line to kind of get away from him.
Yeah, and I did notice these cars are very sensitive to aero.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know.
Yeah, it's
probably more sensitive than the current next gen.
Yeah, that big old wang on the back, man. Really.
That's what they say about me. Shit.
Hey, yo.
I mean, good points night for you, Mr. Manning. Just looking at the point standing now, it hasn't updated yet, but you're 6 coming into the race. You beat a couple of big contenders. You finished ahead of Smith, Miller, Richardson. Sprinkled wasn't in the field tonight with the drops. We got 2 races left. 1 at Talladega, 1 at Daytona. Do you think you're going to crack the top 5 in points?
I sure hope so. If we can keep running like this, hopefully the races are a little cleaner though. But yeah, just keep trying, man. The super speedways are always a gamble, So it's just putting yourself in a good position, and hopefully the dice roll in your favor.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, congrats on your P3. Who do you want to give a shout out to?
I appreciate it. Shout out to you for putting this on, and then everybody here at the league that lets us race and have a good time. Good group of guys here. And then, of course, my mom and dad and my brother that always watch. Appreciate them. Glad to finish well for them.
All right, buddy. Well, congrats on your P3. If you make it up in the podium on Wednesday, I'll talk to you then. If not, maybe next Monday, maybe the Wednesday after that. But good luck in the rest of the season.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
P3 finisher Ty Manning just sharing his experience tonight. We're going to grab P2, Mike Straminski. Mike, Rob up in the booth. How you feeling about your finish tonight, sir?
Man, I'm feeling pretty good. Thank you.
That's good. Let's pop this up here. Started 15th tonight. You got up to 2nd. I think you were kind of dancing around the front a little bit off and on. What did you find your biggest strategy of the night was?
Just stay alive, man. That's all I ever try to do. I'm still pretty new to the iRacing ovals, so I take the EOL at the beginning of the race and just try to stay alive. Right before the caution, I was actually I think I was running 10th and I got spun to the inside. I didn't bring out the caution, but I lost the draft and was thankful that caution came out. And I remember Copperthorne saying, well, let's go with Ben. And those 2, whoever was in front of me, they went with Ben, but they kind of left me out to dry. So I went to the high side and ended up where I ended up. So it was worked out for me.
Yeah, I was watching you get pushed a few times. When you were getting a bump draft, these cars gained a bunch of momentum, and depending on the velocity of the person behind you, did it really upset the wheel sometimes and make you kind of have to hold on?
No, the car stayed pretty straight. I mean, unless they hit you in the tri-oval, that could be a little sketchy, but the car did great.
That's good to hear. So relatively new. What do you got plans for the next couple races here? We're gonna see a win from you before the season's over in the next 2 races.
And I would like to. I'd like to see that. If I could, I'd like to dedicate this second place win to Greg Biffle and his family. I know it's a little late, but it's my opportunity to pay homage to them. So I'd like to dedicate that to them.
That's very, very, very kind of you, and obviously, Mr. Biffle, great racer, just a great human overall, right? I think,
yes, sir.
just on and off the track, just renowned for everything he did. But outside of the Biff family and Greg Biffle himself, is there anyone else you want to give a shout out to?
I'd like to thank my sponsor, Precision Fence and Gates. Anybody in the DFW, Dallas-Fort Worth area in Texas need a fence, give us a call. I'd like to thank the Roughneck Racing League. The guys in there are awesome. All the admins, very friendly. Best league I've been a part of. I'd like to thank them for doing what they do. I'd like to thank you too for announcing and getting my name right. I know it's not an easy one.
I mean, it's pretty phonetic. There's definitely more challenging ones. That's for sure.
For sure.
Well, Mike, congrats on your P2 tonight. You did a great job of getting where you got. I think, if you had another lap, you probably could give Badman Barnes a bumper or two to make him question himself for that win. But an honorable P2 finish is something to definitely be proud of.
Yeah, that guy's fast everywhere we go. Goals to be like him, you know what I mean?
Yep, through that. All right, sir. Well, hope to be chatting to you again soon. And once again, just congrats on your P2.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Time to bring in the man of the night, Mr. Badman Barnes. Badman Barnes, Rob in the booth. How you feeling, buddy?
I'm feeling great, man. How you doing?
I'm all right. You got caught up in some hosh posh tonight. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your hosh posh?
I was hoping we'd get in here and not even talk about that. No, man. My spotter didn't want to speak up on some of those, and kind of just came down too low right there when we went 3 wide. But other than that, we had a great race. The outside line was on the rails tonight.
Yeah, 100%. I watch cars just stay in the middle groove, and then at the end there, yourself and Mr. Tyler Manning. He's not Badman Barnes, but we're gonna have to come up with a good name for him. You elected to go up into that third groove, and you guys actually just started a slingshot. And it was kind of interesting to see how that second and third groove just were so dominant.
Yeah, so me and Ben were 1-2 for that right before that caution came out, and I got shuffled back because they ended up getting around me. But for the longest, we were just trying to keep that high side, because if you get people on the inside, you can kind of use their side draft to pull them back to you. But if they get on that outside, it's just the outside gets such a run in these cars. But yeah, it was such a fun race.
Yeah, a little bit more cautions than we normally see. And kind of like not like hard racing cautions, in my opinion. It was more like a vacuum would happen, somebody would get a bad bump and unsettles everything. But I guess that's just what happens, and as you're bouncing around to different track and aero packages. But good finish for you tonight, P1. That definitely helps you close the gap a little bit on the points championship. Do you think you got enough in you to close it for a championship run?
We're gonna do everything we got to do it, man. I'm trying to be consistent all year, and we put ourselves here at the end of the year, so we're gonna give it everything we got.
I mean, you're sitting 11 points back. We're next gen at Talladega next week, and then we close at the series at Daytona in the Xfinity car. So I mean, the Xfinity car is just it's not as friendly with the bumps. So
No, they're not.
The next gen's a tank, though. So I mean,
Yeah, we're two. I think we got 2 or 3 wins at Talladega this year, so won't hurt to get another one.
yeah, I mean, you do all right in the Talladega, that's for sure. Mr. Batman Barnes, who you want to give a shout out to for your P1 tonight, and just an awesome performance to get yourself up there at the end.
I appreciate it, brother, and my Lord and Savior, most definitely. My girlfriend, SpeedZoneTV. I appreciate everything y'all do. Roughneck Racing, Wagner's Welding, Elite Motorsports, and Renegade Racing for everything y'all do, man. I just appreciate everybody.
Oh yeah. Well, good luck tomorrow night or Wednesday night when we hit up the trucks at Michigan, and good luck for the rest of the season here at the Super Speedway Series.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Badman Barnes, the man of the night, gets it done in kind of an interesting race overall. We had 6 cautions on the night. Not really too indicative of what I'd say the big one was, but overall just pretty interesting. This aero package allowed drivers to run that second groove and just be dominant, especially when the right cars got together. We talked about Wednesday night, so the truck schedule is coming up now. We're going to be broadcasting live on SpeedZoneTV Wednesday night, 7:25 p.m. EST for Roughneck. We got the stutters tonight. Roughneck Racing's James Wagner's Welding Truck Series, 80 laps at Michigan. That's going to be something you're going to want to watch and tune into. Tight points battle going on over there. So between these two series, we've just seen a competitive level of driving that hasn't disappointed. Prior to last week at Echo Park, we were at 2 tracks, went green to checkered, Kansas and Iowa Speedway. Michigan, I don't know if we can go back there again, but it's a wide track with lots of action. Next Monday night, we'll be back here for race number 11, February 2nd, Next Gen's at Dega. Those cars are tanks, so you can expect a lot of bump drafting and everything. They repair well. They don't damage too bad. But closing out the season, the Xfinity at Daytona, those cars are not as forgiving. They're very sensitive to damage. So I think it's going to be a very interesting kind of next 2 races for the Super Speedway Series, 3 races for the Truck Series. And I don't know, you're not going to want to miss it. If you're racing it, you're probably going to want to show up because, this is where champions are made. We didn't see any crazy team duos at the end tonight. Definitely just a bunch of independents, but these guys made it work. Hats off to the Badman Barnes grabbing the win here, just rolling across the line. The 34 of Mike Straminski, his first time, I believe, up in the booth. And then the 78 of Madman. We got Badman Barnes and Madman Manning grabbing the 3rd spot tonight. Hats off to him. Before we send off, we'll go ahead and pull up our results grid. We'll take a look at perhaps what that looks like. 4th spot goes up to Grace Gentner in the 5th spot. Smith grabs 6th. Wheeldon in 7th. Priscilla in 8th. 9th goes out to BB. 10th is Sharon. I don't even think I had the camera on him tonight. 11th goes out to Sigocow. Phipps grabs 12th. 13th goes to Don Francesco. 14th to Hurst. 15th to Ryan. 16th goes to Lashbrook. He had a great run tonight overall, but couldn't stitch it together. 17th to Richardson. Got cranked around at the end. Just caught up at the wrong place, wrong time kind of deal. Mailman Miller in 18th. And 19th goes out to Wagner. Tons of speed tonight. No luck, that's for sure. And Copperthorne grabs the 20th spot. Keltner 21st. Hunter 22nd. And Ramsey rounds out the field. So we're going to be live again Wednesday night for the Truck Series. It's going to be one heck of a show. So you're going to want to tune into that. And then, shout out to our finishers tonight. So once again, shout out to P1 of Tyler Barnes, Badman Barnes. P2, Mike Straminski in his 34 Mobile, and shout out to obviously P3 Madman Manning in his Mako Tools car. So once again, just throw a like on the broadcast, send it to your friends, families, cousins, and uncles, and make sure that you're using that gearbox in the bottom right-hand side. I'm Robert Warrens, your host for SpeedZoneTV. Thank you for tuning in, and have a great rest of the week, everyone.